Welcome to Board Ghost, a story broadcast with games as the engine.
If living is a highway, then heaven is a bus stop. Been waiting for a minute there, but has it been forever? 'Cause dying don't agree with me.
We believe you're out there, hungry for stories for shared experience. We can't see you, can't hear you, yet we will play for you. This night's offering is Things from the Flood. To learn how we generate stories playing games from Things from the Flood, go check out our Things from the Flood rules primer. Also, you should check out the Tales from the Loop rules primer, which gives you a little more sense of the mechanics of this game, because really, mechanically, it's almost the same, and it's really more about the flavor shift. And so the primer for Tales from the Loop, then the primer for Things from the Flood will get you fully up to date. Also, story-wise, this will be a continuation a little bit. It'll be sort of a jumping off. You don't have to have listened to the previous one, but it may help to have listened to the Better Off arc where we played Tales from the Loop. So our humble players, myself, John Holt, with me.
Ken Breeze.
Dan McCoy, hello.
Stuart Wellington, what's up, y'all?
All right, welcome back on, guys.
Yeah, welcome back.
Congratulations on hitting your Max Fun Drive goals.
Flophouse in the house.
I mean, this is airing a few weeks from when we record it, so maybe all of our victories will now be ashes.
Everyone changed their mind simultaneously.
Yeah.
That
Well, in that eventuality, sorry, and
That's
hope
okay.
your new career, whatever you decide on, is a real success.
Sure. Yeah, I really wish I had built in a backup plan to this whole thing. This balls to the walls life approach. Just, it'd been working out for so long that I guess,
You just got to keep a good thing going when it is.
Well,
Yeah.
that sort of segs nicely into Things from the Flood, where the new rules for this, it's not nearly as aspirational a game as our 80s version. This is now the 90s. And so rule number 1, the principles of this game are everything changes, everything falls apart. Things tear at the seams, crisis put your parents out of work, and the loop has been sold. So there's just nothing is stable. So welcome to high school. Everyday life is full of demands, boredom, and conflict. So that's good times. And the mysteries are exciting but dangerous, and only you can stop them. Also, you are neither kids nor adults. You're teenagers. You're living in this world where you no longer have the sort of wide-eyed innocence of children, but you don't have the, I don't know what you believe adults might have, but you don't have it yet. And the game is going to be played scene by scene, and we will describe our world collaboratively.
it's not just a facelift for the Tales from the Loop. It's kind of like not a complete change, but a definite shift in tone.
Tonally, yes. Also, if you remember, one of the principles of Tales from the Loop is your kids cannot die.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true here.
Oh,
So
death waiting.
Death is present in these tales.
Will it happen? We'll find out.
I'll explain what our backstory is and where we are in the world. This will again sort of be an update of the Tales from the Loop. So we're in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, in the Berkshire Mountains, on the border of New York and Western Mass, but it's 1992. Before we were in 1986, now we're in 92. So back in the 40s, GE, MIT, and the government carved this particle accelerator into the rock beneath the mountain range just south of Pittsfield in the town called Lenox, Mass. They also carved cooling towers within the rock itself, and those stick up just north of Lenox. The loop passes under Pittsfield proper, and the center of the city has a large GE plant, and now in 92, it's been abandoned and retrofitted into housing for refugees from the lowlands. So to the south of Pittsfield, a mile or two down South Street, Highway 20, is the turnoff to Bisquette Mountain, which is a ski area, but now has been built into more housing. A further bit south are those cooling towers and the subsurface labs that may or may not be flooded and abandoned. So in 1989, two things happened. The wall fell, which ended the Cold War, or the Cold War ended at the same time, and then something happened with all the loops around the world, and the floods began. Water started rising up out of the ground, the sea level rose, and these marshy, miasmic areas were created around the world, and people fled from the shore into the mountain ranges. And specifically in your area, they fled out of New England, over the mountains, into the mountains, either into New York or just to settle in the Berkshires. The loops and labs are suspected as causing this flooding, so that it spread into the hills and turned sort of middle New England into this floodplain. So severe scrutiny over its part has led GE to face massive fines and declare bankruptcy. So it's sort of a question as to who's going to clean up this mess, but the government is trying to do it. Normally, the death of the industry would have killed something like Pittsfield, the end of GE and this lab. But all the displaced people from Boston and the farmlands moved en masse into the Berkshires or to upstate New York. And so service industry sprung up along with real estate and other infrastructure. And this once sleepy, lightly industrial, nearly rural Pittsfield has become a bustling suburb to Lenox to the south. So Lenox is now this massive city, though the cooling towers and structures sort of loom over it, these abandoned, rotting structures, and the now flooded and abandoned labs are given wide berth. Your once spread out development south of Pittsfield, where you all lived, is now a dense suburban development. The ski lodge has been converted to condos and year-round living, and you are all now students at Pittsfield High School in the heart of the now vibrant downtown Pittsfield. The past few years have been unseasonably warm with the miasma waves, but you basically just have more dynamic weather. So you still get snow and lots of snowfall and nice cold snaps in the winter, but it's just more. It's hotter and more humid and buggy in the summer, and just having the water there has not equalized things. You're living near a marsh.
Do we have a rival high school in the area?
I'm glad we're cutting to the important
come on,
stuff,
let's.
sure.
Yeah,
I mean, of course we do.
I'm more. Come on, I'm right.
I mean, there's Lenox.
That's the question, right? Because we're like in a
Lenox to the
suburban wasteland, basically.
Yeah, Lenox
right?
to the south has
Lenox,
like
okay,
big, like
so-
they actually have a few high schools.
Yeah.
They're a pretty big city.
That's what I'm
so
thinking, right? Is that they have a few high schools, and so we have like one high school in our suburban.
You guys
sort
have
of
a
wasteland?
big. Yours is a big high school.
Big high school. Okay.
Yeah.
Big. Yeah.
So it's you've taken in a lot of families that were
Definitely.
refugees and now effectively settled there. So
I'm just really want to know who our rivals are. That's important.
And the vacation business, I'm assuming, has gone down, and
vacation is gone and now it's year-round
Yeah.
living. So it's more about real estate and just kind of maintaining.
And it sounds like we're not really a resort town anymore. It sounds like the ski lodges and the hills are more for locals who are sort of just looking to have
Right.
a fun day
Right.
or whatever.
It's an amenity of living, and people will come up from Lenox. Bus trips will take the hour out. Just like
okay.
if you ever skied Blue Hills in near Boston area, it's 45 minutes out of Boston. You're in the mountains on a hill skiing. Let's see. What first thing we're going to do is choose our character types. If you guys want to even introduce who your characters were before, back when they were younger teens in middle school, then we can kind of talk about who they are now and get into who they are. So, Stuart, do you have a type that you've picked out?
yeah, I'm going to be party animal type. I feel like that's a natural progression for myself. I'll be playing Chad Dawson again, reprising my role. In the last game, Chad was the popular kid archetype, and he has had a little bit of family upheaval, and that's led him to seek pleasure in all its forms.
Dan, have you picked a character type?
Yeah, lone wolf. My character, Ollie Barker, was a bookworm, kind of bullied kid as a younger child, and I feel like he's dealt with that by cultivating his own alone time and persona as a lone wolf.
I will be reprising my role as Rush McKinsey. If you remember from last time, Rush was more. My character type is technically, it says hick, which I'm not maybe the biggest fan of that word, but that's okay. That's sort of the vibe. Rush was definitely more of an outdoorsy type. Big guy, beefy guy, hiking boots, overalls, really connected with the school janitor at the school we were going to as kids. His dad was real sick and his folks had been divorced. So my new type, I think, is hacker. Rush always had this vibe of being interested in technology and computer repair. And so I think I'm going in that direction where Rush has become sort of this conspiracy theorist hacker, especially with the sort of experiences we had last time with Transstellar Industries and Dr. Paul Isherwood and all the crazy alien shit that went down that may or may not, still be affecting us or whatever. But it's definitely something that I have taken, or at least Rush has taken on. And also, since Rush is a hacker, I have to give him a cool hacker name.
Mm-hmm. Don't you already have like 3 nicknames?
No, so
You're like
he's
Rush and Spuds.
The
I have
Spuds is
written down.
old school. That no one calls me
Yeah,
that
nobody calls
anymore.
us Spuds anymore.
Only my old school friends call me
Uh-huh.
Spuds.
Do they call you that because you showed up to school like your bag lunch was
with
just
potatoes.
a potato?
That is true.
Yeah.
That is, in fact,
That's why
where
we
that
know
came
because
from.
we go way back.
Yeah, exactly. Now I don't. Yeah, the only people who call me that are my old school homies, my old school friends. I can get into my hacker name later, maybe.
Cool. Okay.
But yeah,
The next kind of thing is these are going to be things to decide, and we can after you've decided them, we'll walk through kind of where you've laid stuff. It doesn't matter super much, but decide your age. The range in this one is 14 to 19, where I think in the previous game everything capped at about 14, 15.
Okay.
So again, your high school seniors, it's 92. Previous game was 86, about 6 years ago. So the way it lines up is there may have been a year missing where because of certain things happening in the town where they kind of skipped a school year, but we'll get into why in a second. So yeah, so if you guys were 13, you could be 19 now. If you were 12, you might be 18 now. Assume that all the school systems were shut down for a year.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So
Got it.
Still,
I'm a 19.
still doesn't line up, but that's fine.
So you know what?
I should be the tense one. I don't like doing these things.
Dan can accept a lot in his fantasy.
Yeah, I just
But
can't accept
not-
this timeline problem.
yeah, exactly.
So
Just one more
The
thing.
timeline needs to be very, very clear.
Mm-hmm.
19
19.
Okay, sure.
or 18,
I'm
whatever you want to
19
be.
as well.
No,
Or
no.
you could say that you were born late in the year.
Age 19.
I'm a 20-year-old high school senior.
Yeah, I definitely knew that guy.
Or you will maybe you will turn 20
Yeah,
in the
soon.
second semester.
Sure, yeah.
Soon
An
to
all
be-
right 19.
Soon to be 20.
19.75.
Mm-hmm. I'm just so ready to leave this school.
Ready to
Go to college.
bust out of this town. Wait, yes?
What? You picked your age as well?
19.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
19.
So here's some, just so you know, some key historical events that
Oh,
have
yeah,
happened,
please.
right? So 91, full-on end of the Cold War, fall of the Soviet Union. Also, your Bush, Clinton, Perot election all went down. 91's when the World Wide Web was created.
Oh, you know
but,
I'm on
but
that
bulletin
shit.
board systems are still in vogue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 90,
When was it created?
91 was
91?
WWW, yeah.
Oh, so you're a very early hacker.
I'm
you're
on the
probably doing
ground
like
floor.
phone freak.
I'm on the
stuff.
ground floor and
You,
shit.
you have a subscription of 14.4.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means, but yes.
Sure. So yeah, again, 9600, 14.4 US robotics modems with 2400 baud. That's what you're rocking if you're online.
2400 baud.
Some of your techs, some pagers, some payphones, some
sounds
AOL 91, Gateway 2000 computers with their cow printed boxes. Oh, this is also around the time that CD music sales are overtaking cassette sales as well. And CD-ROMs are becoming available to consumers. Some of your stores, you got your Blockbusters, your Sears, your KB, your Strawberries, your Stop and Shop, your Babbages. Music videos.
Do love stuff.
November Rain, Jeremy, Under the Bridge.
Woo.
Right now.
They were all over MTV. Like those three
Yeah,
would just
they were.
compete.
Yes, yes.
My Lovin',
one of those 3 is awesome.
Never Gonna Get It, Smells Like Teen Spirit. Have you ever needed someone so bad? Oh, the crisscross jump.
Nice.
House of Pains jump around, right?
Hunger Strike, Come As You Are, Ain't Too Proud to Beg.
Oh, that's a
People
good one.
Every Day, Baby Got Back, and Friday
Also
I'm
a
in
good
Love.
one.
All music videos at the time. On TV, Captain Planet. That's about all you need to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, in Living Color, Comedy Central was Comedy Channel.
Yeah. And Living
MSTV,
Color is
okay.
easily Chad Dawson's favorite
Yep.
television show.
MTV Movie Awards started around this time. Batman, the
Yeah,
animated
like-
series.
Oh, Batman the Animated Series. That's right.
Real World.
Oh, what an-
Clarissa Explains It All was
Yeah.
My
Your
sister.
sister.
91. Dinosaurs, Liquid Television, Ren and
Great
Stimpy.
show.
Unsolved Mysteries was on its 4th season.
Oh man, it was just wrapping up.
It's a real trip down memory
Just
lane.
ramping up.
They're gonna find out who killed Laura Palmer
Yeah.
pretty soon.
SNL was Farley Meadows, Cleghorn, Spade, Myers, Rock, Nealon, Hartman,
Ellen
Harvey, Sweeney,
Cleghorn.
Jackson. Some of your sweet movies: Encino Man, Wayne's World, Dracula,
Please say Bram,
Bram
Stoker's,
Stoker's
Dracula.
Dracula.
Uh-huh.
and Buffy,
please.
the Dracula Slayer, Fisher King, Silence of the Lambs, the sequel to Fisher King, Point Break, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, Secret of the Ooze, Robot Jocks, was
Yeah,
89.90.
Yeah, dope movie.
Akira was 88. So I'm just talking about stuff that would be in your video store, and Vampire Hunter D would have been coming to video in 92. Wolfenstein 3D, SNES, Mario Kart, Sega Genesis, Game Boy. Street Fighter 2's in the arcades now. Simpsons Arcade, TMNT, Turtles in Time. There you go.
Such
Guys,
good games.
Chad Dawson's only gotten dumber. And
Hey, yay!
So let's talk relationships. Before we get into outside relationships, like NPC relationships, how are your relationships now to each other?
What was our old relationships? I'm just curious. It might inform.
So
we were all pals.
Chad looked out for Ollie.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone kind of looked out for you.
Yeah, protecting Ollie. My thing was Ollie wouldn't survive a day in the woods, so I was always like gonna be that
What are you
guy.
doing in the woods?
He'd be that guy who was with him in the woods.
So, and I had a similar thing. Mine says, Ollie is in love with me.
Mine says about Chad, how can I show him what I really feel, aka that we're blood brothers.
Oh, cool. That we're tight. Yeah.
Yeah, that we're tight. And maybe.
Yeah, and we had, again, when we had left it, we kind of had done a epilogue kind of thing where you guys kind of stayed tight, and there was a distance between Chad and the group.
Yeah.
But we can retcon that. You play with it, whatever you guys want to do.
Question: does everyone still
that could
have
have come and gone by now too?
Does everyone still have the walkie-talkie that we used last time? Everyone had a walkie-talkie.
I mean, we probably have them. I don't know.
Just
if
wondering.
We use
Just wondering if they're still kept.
Yeah.
Or if they've been thrown.
I mean,
away.
I think it would be silly to just throw that.
Of course,
away.
yeah.
Hobo
Why would
still
you-
has it.
narrative-wise. It's a reminder of.
This
Now,
one's just the
John,
dome.
I guess here's a question that may have some impact. What the fuck? Like,
It's a great question.
No, I spit on myself.
like last
That
time.
actually, I asked John that a lot of times.
Like what? Like we saw some crazy shit last time. Like, do we just do with that what we will?
Yeah,
There's no
I mean,
like news reports about it, right? Like, there's no like.
I mean, I think that it's like it was.
He's going to believe a couple of stupid
yeah,
kids.
he's gonna believe a couple
I think you guys can figure out how much, but I read it as it was isolated phenomena. People may have seen it. There might have been, it's not like
Right.
ubiquitous cell phone cameras and all this
Right,
stuff.
right.
So it's one of those like Goonie style stories
Goonie
where
style. Okay.
no pirate ship came out of the cave though right.
To prove everything. Do we like talk to authority? Was there any like? There was no ever like.
There was none like
were
basically all you
deposed by-
kind of knew is Isherwood.
or debriefed.
Isherwood, the dude who was sort of the
Yeah,
one
we
trying to
didn't-
save his daughter, disappeared.
Right.
Like
Right,
maybe
from
by the
school.
government.
Yeah, we didn't get invited to join the Avengers initiative or anything.
I had kind of read it as it was covered up and swept under.
Okay. Cool.
Like it was a scientist gone rogue in a classified.
That's
The one kind of thing that did happen is you guys tried to talk to Kimberly Lakes, the
That's
friend
right.
of the girl, and she was kind of mad at you guys pretending that her friend was alive, even though her friend had died,
that's right.
because she was not privy to the information that you were privy to.
I think, at least initially, and I'm assuming this is probably carried through, that our relationships probably cooled off a little bit. That
Yeah.
Chad's put a little bit of distance between himself and you guys, both just dealing with that stuff. And he also went through, his parents got a divorce.
Divorced.
His mother got the property. She turned it into housing. And my dad's been like cycling through relationships and convincing people in investing in projects, mainly like restaurants that fail in town. Family wise, the only person I'm really close to anymore is my sister, who went away to college. My sister Clarissa. Like, I'm not like mean to you guys. I don't.
We don't get the invites to the parties. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And my mom's never home, so that's like maybe you would come to the party with someone else, and I'm not like mean to you, but like there's a distance there.
You're just kind of acquaintances at this point.
Yeah, I have a very large pool of acquaintances.
I'm getting for Rush that he basically is going full conspiracy theorist. Stu's character is not. Is like sort of like forget like thinks like none of that was real or
So,
I don't know. Maybe there's
Right, you've
maybe
done
that,
like
that's
you
it.
so but you could believe that, right?
Maybe
That-
that's it. Maybe
right,
that's what
like
I believe.
you've
Yeah.
doubled down on it and gone full in conspiracy cryptid hunter guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas Stuart, like the way you read it is Chad Dawson is like drinking away the past,
Yes,
kind of thing.
that's-
like
that is
like
exactly how I
running from
feel.
the truth.
Yeah. And so for us though, Dan, where's Ollie at this point? He's lone wolf in it, but are we still buddies? Do we like
Well,
get pizza every Friday night or something?
I have a
like that?
question for John.
Yeah, dude.
What was the story with my parents last time?
So Jacoda, your dad,
An amazing father.
had like he was out of the picture, like he was out west or whatever, like California or something, right?
Okay.
So it was you and your mom. She was a waitress. It was like it was a single mom situation. Like you
Okay.
kind of you helped her take care of stuff.
Okay.
Um,
That's what I thought. So to me, all right, this is going to like play into my decisions here. My dad was still alive. He just wasn't around.
Yeah,
That was-
Jacoda was out west.
I think I'm going to say that he actually died while away. So now I have a totally,
Jacoda's dead?
yeah, Dakota's dead. I'm growing up totally in a single mom situation. Also, where my mom worked was heavily supported by the tourism industry, and as that fell apart, she lost her job. So she's putting together a lot of temp work to try and keep afloat. So like that kind of triggered my becoming more of a lone wolf. Chad and I, drifted apart as you said already, but I think also Rush. I think that like through a combination of like just withdrawing from the world entirely, and also like as I get older, I get kind of like snobby about the fact that you are a quote unquote hick. So like I've withdrawn from you too, although like I don't bear either of you any ill will.
Everyone's kind of iced off a little bit.
Yeah. That's
Right?
what it seems like.
So
Wait,
so,
are you guys iced off from each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too
That was
bad.
what I
He's
was just saying.
he's full lone wolf.
I was the glue holding this
Kind
team
of.
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, kind of.
that's the ground game. We've kind of talked about that you kind of think Chad is like you've doubled
Drinking
down on
the
the conspiracy
past
stuff
away.
and Chad's running from it.
Yeah.
Like from the truth. You guys aren't close, but what are your impressions of each other now that there's distance? Like what's your read on one another would be the question.
I probably think the same way that I used to think about you, which is I probably took advantage of you, and like I always considered you a friend, but I also like you were reliable, you can get things done, and I probably took advantage of that a little too often. I still kind of assume that we're close because I don't ever sit back and reflect and think like, oh yeah, we don't really hang out anymore. Like,
Yeah, I'm trying to think back to like high school, right, where you sort of like float in and out of some of these relationships sometimes, especially in those years.
and they get very intense pretty fast.
And yeah, they do. They can get into super intense.
So at this moment you kind of are like, this is a buddy of mine, but it's in the freezer and you could pull it out maybe whenever you need to, and you're not
I
really
certainly
thinking about it.
feel like I
Yeah.
could pull. Yeah. Rush is there whenever I need him.
And on my end, I think I feel let down that like I need my two friends, old friends, previous friends, who saw the same things I did to like have my back, and neither of them sort of do. So I don't feel like I'm a lone wolf per se, but I definitely am sort of isolated from my two friends, former close friends, because of this sort of like they're not joining me on this crusade that I've like put on my shoulders or whatever.
And so Chad, what is your like perspective on Ollie? Is it
I feel like along with some kind of a cooling off. What do you think would be more appropriate? That I think you're like kind of a weirdo, or that I think you're like I'm ready to move on from school? You're still too much like a kid, like too much of a school kid.
Well, some of the other choices I've made that I haven't gotten into, I feel like weirdo.
Okay.
is more.
Cool.
I think he's kind of baffled by Chad's decisions. Like he doesn't think he's a bad guy, but is like, why has he become this party animal guy? Like it's sort of antithetical to everything that Ollie feels. Rush, like I said before, he has this kind of like snobbiness a little bit about you, now that he's grown older, he gets
Yep.
kind of embarrassed by you, but like secretly he still thinks you're a good guy.
My read on Ollie Barker is that he's depressed and can't face the past.
Okay.
The next one, and this is something we can think about for a second, but 1 to 2 other NPCs, other teens. It's going to be like there can be other adults, but it's harder to have connections.
Is the local radio station still a thing?
Whoopi?
Yeah, Whoopi.
Yeah, what's up, Whoopi? What was the call sign on Whoopi? It was-
WUPE.
Yeah.
I think I'm friends with Mindy Lazarus. I've decided to call her. She's kind of a gothy looking teen, and she and I have developed a big movie addiction. Like, I'm a movie buff. She and I go to the local repertory theater that was big when there was a tourist thing, and now it's kind of just hanging on. We're some of the few people who go there.
So Mindy, is she in the same grade as y'all?
Yeah, she's also kind of a lone wolf, so I'm friends with her, but I also think I probably secretly have a crush on her.
Uh-huh.
Ken, what about you? Who do you have a relationship with?
I mean, Beverly Fullerton, I think I've continued to have this weird crush on forever and hasn't changed. I've never told her about it, ever. It's in my secret, unrequited love.
Now, how do have you?
I think I
Do you
try.
talk to her, or
I
like
think
what's the relationship there?
We are.
I mean, it could just be you have a crush and it just like
Yeah, no. I get it. How do we
Stumble
interact?
around.
And where do we interact? No. I like it.
Well,
I'm
that's fine.
thinking that we are in computer class together. We sit next to each other. That is like the height of my day socially, where I'm like, or not. That's not true. In terms of IRL socially, that's like where I'm like trying to be sociable, because I basically don't have a lot of other friends at school. Most of my friends are online.
So she's your like
Wow.
she's the person. So she's the person you like talk to at school.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's her name?
Beverly Fullerton.
Beverly
Fullerton.
Fullerton.
She has cute
And again,
glasses.
if we want to complicate things, you guys can have relationships with the same NPCs.
Yeah.
I have a relationship with an enabler. I'll probably need a little help working this out. Chad has a long time on again, off again girlfriend who we dated for a while shortly after the incident, and then like ever since we'll like be together and then we'll be apart and like date other people, but like people always kind of assume we're together. We get in fights and like I just play out the same bullshit that my parents did, and also like we're both big partiers.
When did the flood happen? Because maybe this is someone who's recently moved here and like she was like the coolest person in her school or whatever.
Okay.
And it's like
So
now.
it happened in '89. So about three and a half years.
Three and a
Yeah,
half
that-
years
that
ago.
works.
So you met like your first year of high school or whatever,
Yeah.
second year of high school, and it's been this weird. And she maybe even used you to climb to the top of the social.
Maybe I
you
was
know,
her the first person that she dated. When
exactly.
She moved
Like you seem like the coolest person here. I'm gonna date you and whatever. Get in.
Uh-huh. No, I mean it is a mutual problem between the two of us.
Is she the same age? Like, is she in
Yeah.
high school as well? Okay. So it's not like she like
What's her
graduated a year.
name?
Her name is, I'm gonna say Denise
Nice.
Feldstein.
Feldstein.
And I think probably at the start we're dating again. We're back together again.
Okay. Because we also now can talk about anchors. So this is someone like a friend, a parent, a teacher, or a neighbor. It can't be another teen in our group here, but it can be someone else. So this is someone that if you suffer a condition, you're upset, scared, whatever, you can go to them to have a scene and potentially heal your conditions. So it's someone that would bring you like succor and
Yeah, it's my sister. I
Claire
call her on the phone. Maybe I went up and visited her at college once. And,
is she in like upstate New York or something?
Yeah.
R.I.T.
Yeah. I went up and visited her, and I was like, it's amazing.
Yeah, I like the older hacker from the forums, my hacking mentor.
Catfish.
Catfish.
And mine is my mom, because being a struggling single mom has sort of driven us closer together.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you go through and describe out like Ollie, and also what's your item and stuff could be good to bring up, your iconic item.
Yeah. So I think that he's gone from being a bookworm to a bit of a burnout kind of type. Like this is, in reaction to everything that's gone on in his life, he's fallen in with a lot more like sort of artsy burnouts, but he only has a couple of friends because, like you said, he's a lone wolf. His iconic item is a skateboard. He was not very physically adept before, but he's learned how to skateboard fairly well. Favorite song is Lithium. Problem is that he's worried he's going to lose his house with his mom's job problems. And he's also, his shame is he's started smoking pot, and his mom is like such a very trusting, supportive mom that he's just sad that he's doing
Down this road.
Yeah, but he's still very smart, so he gets good grades, but like the kind of grades you get if you're smart and lazy.
And does Mindy smoke, or Mindy Lazarus smoke pot, or is she more of like a clove cigarette girl?
She's more of a clove gal.
Ken, what about you? Walk through this hacker Rush?
Cool. So
19-year-old.
Rush had really gone down this conspiracy theorist sort of path. Or is it even a conspiracy? It seems real to him, especially about TSI, Transstellar Industries, the words he saw written on the spaceship that was a part of the experience he had earlier in life. So he has used the acronym TSI in his hacker name. So he's Psychic Mirror is his hacker name. Super terrible hacker name. TSICHIC Mirror. Psychic Mirror. Has this laptop computer with a modem, pieces of titanium that he has saved from like parts of the ship that rained down. So he has some artifacts. He's really gotten into this whole thing of trying to piece together what happened that night and try and find out more about what's going on with why that spaceship appeared and just the technologies involved and the cover-up story. And his personal life, it's made it very easy for him to do that because his father, who was really not copping to the fact of how ill he was 6 years ago, is now basically on life support. And he is in their home. He has a live-in nurse, live-in caretaker, because we won a settlement from the company that ran the collider, that ran the loops. And so there's a few families that they settled with in the area for things that happened or illnesses that have befell people who worked there. So his dad's one of those people. So he doesn't need to worry about money to some degree because of the settlement. It's not like they're well off.
Kind of
but
on disability.
Exactly. So he comes from a family that's sort of on disability, as it were. He spends a lot of time at home on the computer. His physical body has really gone to shit. He's very overweight. He dresses like he's going to go to a rave. Like he's really into this idea of rave culture. So he's like watches videos from raves or whatever. So he like wears like really weird. The best way I can put it is like almost like Ed Hardy, like Hawaiian shirts. Like they're just these really crazy, colorful, way too loud shirts. He probably has like these weird like techno sunglasses that he wears. He's trying to
Big baggy Jinko.
big baggy like wallet chains.
Oh, man.
But the wallet chain is not made out of chain. It's made out of like plastic candy looking, pieces. Like he's like way into rave culture. He thinks it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
Pants with like lots of straps.
exactly, like he's never been to a rave, or maybe if he has, it didn't, it was like a small one. It's like he thinks that's the style. So that's Rush right now.
Chad Awesome Dawson, 19 years old, resident of Pittsfield, Mass. So he is a big, fun dude. In the last few years, he had a little bit of a growth spurt. He started playing some sports. You wouldn't really consider him a jock, and he doesn't care about it. He was just doing it because it was, a lot of his buddies were on the team, and so he was playing.
What kind of stuff, like lacrosse and...
I guess lacrosse would be, if lacrosse is the main game of the town. That's what he's.
Yeah, I'm sure they've got a football team and stuff,
but he's not like scholarship material.
Right.
He just does it for a thing to do. He shed a little bit of his baby fat. His parents got a divorce, and his mother got the property. She's doing pretty well. She's been seeing a guy named Michael, who lives down in Lenox, and so she spends a lot of time down there. So the big house is empty except for old Chad. So on the weekends, I throw a lot of parties. And unfortunately, I'm drinking a little too much, and despite the fact that I plan on and look forward to going to college, probably joining my sister up in upstate New York, things aren't looking that good for me grade-wise, and I think there's a decent chance I'm going to fail. I have an on-again, off-again, currently on-again girlfriend, Denise Feldstein, who is great and a lot of fun, but, sometimes it isn't.
So, and what is your shame?
That sometimes I'll get very drunk, and I'll drive drunk and black out and not remember what happened.
All right. And what is your problem currently?
Oh, then I'm probably going to fail.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to retake my senior year.
Cool.
And like money isn't an issue. Like
Right.
my mother does really pretty well, and my father has this like rotating cycle of girlfriends and business partners who kind of keep him afloat.
Out of guilt, kind of keep you
Yeah,
flush.
like when I see him, he makes a big show, and like the car I'm driving, he bought me, much to my mother's annoyance.
How many other people know about your shame and in turn your problem?
About my
Would Denise even know?
Denise knows about my shame. She was with me.
Okay.
You guys probably can guess at my problem. There's a chance that you were at a party that you saw me climb into a car very drunk and drive away. People don't talk about it, and that's why it's extra shameful for me, because it's completely not out in the open. And because it happened and there was no repercussions, I did it again.
Right.
It's the sort of thing that you do it and you assume like, oh, if I do this one time, a lightning bolt's going to hit me, but then it didn't. So you're like, well, I guess I can do it again.
Ollie, what about you? What is your shame? What is your problem? And who knows about them?
So, like I said, my shame is that I'm smoking pot all the time, and it's only shameful to me because it's disciplining my mom. And I think these two guys pretty much can tell, like, because I'm running with the stoner crowd. If I'm running with
You're in the
anyone at all.
smoking area about behind the school sometimes.
Yeah, and my problem, I'm worried that because of the money problems, we'll lose our house. I don't think these guys know how bad the money problems are. And when it comes to Chad stuff, like, I think I'm assuming that he is maybe going to flunk out of school, but I don't know anything about his drinking because I don't go to enough parties or anything like that to witness it.
Okay. What about Rush? What's shame and problem?
Sure. For Rush, the shame
Oh, we know
is
never been kissed.
I've never been kissed.
Yeah, so never been kissed. We have that, and failing potentially school as well.
Yeah, it's funny that Rush and Chad are on this same problem. I'm failing school due to not caring. So maybe we see each other in detention or something like that from time to time.
The next bit to do is kind of chat about friction. What is causing friction in the group? So we've already kind of established that there's like a little bit of a rift. There's still something that's binding you, but also what's causing tension and friction.
For me, it's super easy. It's what happened during last game. We all have our different recollections of it or ways that we've squared that circle or rationalized it for ourselves. Maybe that's it, that we're sort of connected by that event.
So it's sort of like doubting the strength of the group and your abilities as a group.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't see us as like paranormal investigators, and I don't think that route is the one that we should be going down. Like, I think I probably view this as like this was our brush with something extraordinary, and that we were ill prepared for it, and people got hurt, and I don't want that responsibility.
And this is something we haven't touched on, and I'll start with you on this. What's your drive? Like, with that being the friction and the tension, maybe that's causes is like what drives you to be the one to expose yourself to danger or a difficult situation?
It's pretty easy, guys. I just want people to like me.
With my own struggles of being bullied and also seeing my mother beaten down by life, my drive is protecting people.
My drive is the truth.
So now we're going to get to our questions. And so I'm going to ask each of you a few questions, and then as a group, there'll be 2 or 3 questions to answer. In what way has your problem gone from bad to worse lately? Chad Dawson.
I intercepted a letter that the school sent my mom explaining that I'm in danger of failing multiple classes. I didn't throw it away. I hid it.
So here's a tough one. Are you a virgin?
I am not.
Okay. What do you want to do when you move out of your parents' house?
I mean, I want to go to college.
And you school upstate.
Yeah.
Beyond that, what's post college? Is there just nothing past that right now?
I want to get some kind of a job, maybe in like finance or business, but it's pretty vague.
Let's see. What do you dream of at night?
I have memories of going to the beach as a kid with my parents and my sister.
Okay. Ollie, in what way has your problem gone from bad to worse lately?
I think he saw a 30-day notice of eviction. Like his mom tried to hide it from him, but he found it.
Okay. And same question to you. Are you a virgin? Is Ollie Barker a
I
virgin?
think yes.
Okay. And then let's see. What do you want to do when you move out of your parents' house?
He says outwardly that he thinks college is pointless, but I think that's him protecting himself because he's worried his mom can't afford to send him to college. And so he's already resigned to the idea that he'll shack up maybe with somebody, like a roommate in an apartment in town, and figure out a job.
And what does Ollie dream of at night?
I'm going to say, like me, he has very weird, elaborate dreams that don't follow any pattern, but they're just very strange and shifting, and he doesn't remember much about it when he wakes up.
Rush, in what way has your problem gone from bad to worse lately?
I've just started not going to school. And so there's like a truant officer who is coming to my life, coming to the door, to make sure I'm like going to school or something like that.
All right. Is Rush a virgin?
Yeah,
Okay.
Definitely.
Let's see. What does Rush want to do when they move out of their parents' house?
I don't know if Rush has any plans to move out of his parents' house. I mean, his dad is like on his last legs. I think that there's like this competing thing that's going on where it's like, okay, do I like join mainstream society and like go to college and like get a computer science degree or something, or that doesn't even exist at this point, but engineering degree or something like that? Or do I just devote all my time to being online and learning as much as I can and like doing weird shit to like
Become the ultimate otaku.
exactly to become the ultimate otaku. Exactly.
Lastly, what do you dream of at night?
I dream of that night. I dream of Kara Isherwood. I dream of Dr. Isherwood. I dream of the crazy alien shit that went down. I think my mind has any number of routes that it goes down, from like there being some sort of like buried Cthulhu chthonic like stuff here, to this being connected to the floods that happened, to this being government conspiracy, the panoply of like weird shit that your mind might conjure up. In general, I haven't been able to find anything on this stuff, even as I've gone into all of the hacking and the proto deep web.
Is Hobo kind of...
Hobo's dead.
Okay,
Hobo's
passed
dead.
away.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hobo's dead. We're going to leave Hobo in the past, I think.
Hobo is... So I got 3 group questions then. You guys, your group is pretty loose knit, but there's still something there that's perceived. So who dislikes your group? Who dislikes you when you are a unit?
Kimberly LaLakes was very mad at us for all the pain we caused her by pranking her in junior high and trying to convince her that her friend was still alive.
That one seems most interesting to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kimberly Lakes, sort of you guys as a unit, is something that's not dislikes that.
And what's her last name?
LaLakes.
LaLakes.
L-E-L-A-K-E-S.
LaLakes.
Okay.
So what makes you guys laugh? Like, what is something that you 3 as a group still kind of laugh about? Or
Like, I think an inside thing is, I don't know, doing like fake trucker voices and into our walkie-talkies, like with like dumb call signs.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah,
That sounds
that's cool.
cool.
okay, do you guys have you abandoned the Thunder Cave? That'll be my question. And if so, when?
I think so. It doesn't seem like, I mean, maybe we don't go there as a group.
Yeah, I
Maybe
feel like-
individually we might visit it.
Maybe I would say not as a group, but like if any of us needs a place to hide out once in a while, we might go down there.
Okay.
I go over there, and like that was probably where I like had my first kiss or something, and
Got it.
like that's also where like when my mom's in town and like Michael's staying over, I probably sneak over there.
Yeah, so there's like probably some old roaches of yours, maybe a bong now, some empty bottles that you've left there,
Yep.
and then
Maybe I even hid the letter about my grades
up in
somewhere.
there.
I mean, that is exactly how I was seeing it as well. It's almost like this safe deposit box type situation. All the evidence on my beat up floppy disk that I have about digital evidence about TSI, I've put
It's
in.
kinda-
It's like I'm hiding it there. I'm
your
hiding
Iron Mountain.
hiding a copy there. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Got our setup. What I do want to do is kind of talk about what's been going on in this world. Like we've got the history of it, and you kind of know where you are now, but when the floods happened, a little while after that, within like a year of those floods occurring, is when there were started to be electrical storms out in the swamps and in the wastes. And what initially were just like ball lightnings that would kind of come by and start fires turned into these things coming out of these electrical rifts, or whatever you want to call them, these massive, like misshapen things with like maybe crystalline armor at times that would come and try to, as far as you know, attack the town and attack the people of the town. That's been happening. It started happening in 1990, about a year after the Loop flood, and that was the year when there was an attack that almost demolished the high school, and so they paused your sophomore year for a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And so now that is why you are now seniors a little while after. Like things were put on hold for sophomore or junior year, and now they've kind of got it back up and running. At that same time, the reason why you haven't been overwhelmed is, one, the government has been intervening. Like they've set up military bases, fortified these areas. The airport is like got anti-tank and anti-infantry guns on it, and the military, like what used to be a Federal Reserve, like a documents holding place as far as you knew, now is fortified and has vehicles and guns and all that kind of stuff. Outside of the government intervention, there's also been these 5 giant, like humanoid looking robot things that appeared around the same time and have been instrumental in repelling each one of these attacks, these waves of attacks that come. And they come maybe every like couple months, sometimes with more of a reprieve. And now there are like a lot sirens that go off and people get evacuated into storm shelters and stuff. But it's become, I mean, this has been life for the past few years. This is it, like 90, 91, 92, this has become the routine. So the first question is, I want you guys to tell me, what is the name of, what do you guys call these giant robots?
Are they robots or are they piloted by a human?
You are not sure.
Okay.
There's no information on these things,
Right.
like in like news reports. Or
They're,
anything like that.
the news could have a name for them, and you guys can tell me that name, and then you can also have your name for them, whatever you want. Or like there could be a name that, like, you know, Jay Jonah gave them this name, and that's the name that they're sticking with.
Beastbusters.
Beastbusters.
It's pretty good.
Clankers.
I like it. Because of the clanking sound or because... Okay.
Clanking sound.
For 5 bots.
That's also cool. I like the 5 bots.
Like, let's say clankers is an epithet,
Mm-hmm.
and 5 bots is a term for respect.
Okay.
Or 5 bots is what the news calls them,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Because there's always 5 of them. And then Beastbusters is what kind of like, it's a term of endearment a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
go get them. So to that end, what do you guys call these kaiju things that come from the rifts? Right off the bat, they could be called beasts. That's one.
Yep. That's going to be my vote, is that they're called beasts. Or you could change it to like mega beasts.
Mega Beast is nice.
Yeah.
Mine is a
I like
little
the sound of that.
less kaiju-y. It's like Otherworlders.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll stick with those as a couple names you guys can use for mega beasts or otherworlders. You guys can answer this individually, but does anybody did anyone suffer like a loss at the hands of these recent events that they feel like family members who lived out in the wastes, or like in a battle, or like doesn't have to be immediate, but like has there been like a personal or like close associative
So wait.
impact or not.
Is this a thing that's going on all over the country, or is this a localized thing?
This is localized to this sort of New England, Western Mass, like
Okay.
Berkshire mountains range.
There's a girl that I knew who was like my crush when I was very, very young. By the time she died, it was like she was just kind of someone I vaguely knew, but because I felt some sense of connection to her when we were young, like it still bothered me.
She's like a year younger or a year older than you and was in the high school or something when the attack came
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, my mom died in the flood. So she lived in the South.
Okay, so she was like outside. I got it. So you've kind of
She was-
lost
yeah.
her to that.
Yeah.
My sister's boyfriend ended up going into the armed services.
Oh, you love that guy.
Yeah, he went into the arm. He didn't get into college. He went to the armed
Tony-
services,
Tony.
and he was killed. And also that plays up my fear of not getting into college because I feel like the only alternative would be
military.
to military service.
And did that also make you a little closer to your sister because of that?
Yeah, yeah.
like, friendship idolization and her moment of pain.
Who's
That's
got
kinda
a
it.
car? Like, which characters have a car?
I mean, I do. Yeah, because I'm 19 years old, dude.
What kind of car do you have?
Yeah.
We're up
For
in the
you.
mountains, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have an awesome Jeep.
Sweet.
I think I'm too poor. I get around on my skateboard.
I think I do have a car. It is my dad's old pickup.
So we can, I think, get into it. So we're gonna start with like 3 individual scenes. Today's like a special half day. That's why, for instance, Rush is coming to school. They're gonna have like assemblies mostly, and it's gonna be a quieter day of schoolwork. Let's start with Chad.
Mm-hmm.
How are you getting to school?
I'm driving. I pick up Denise.
What's
We-
playing on the radio?
The local radio station, probably popular
Whoopee.
hip hop, like Baby 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 or something. We pull through the drive-through and pick up breakfast at, I don't know, like McDonald's or the McDonald's equivalent in this dimension.
Yeah, as you pull in,
What day of the week is it?
it's a Friday.
Oh, okay.
Friday
so we're
half
talking.
day.
Yeah, we're talking about the party tonight.
Yeah, like in the spot, like where you would park normally, kids have a sort of a sign. You have to pay for parking spots or whatever.
Oh,
here.
okay.
So, or at least a permit to park
Uh-huh.
as a
But
high schooler.
do we have specific spots?
You have a number that you're supposed to
Oh,
park
okay.
in. And there's another girl, like tapping her foot, is standing in your spot.
Uh-huh.
Not Denise.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
Aaron Pink.
Okay.
Her parents actually work at the lodge housing. They're the ones, like, her parents know your parents. They kind of run/work at the old Bousquet ski lodge, and now run the like lodge housing. And so you're both sort of similar social status of being like dueling parties and this kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
And she puts a hand up like, you aren't parking till we talk.
Like, what's scaring want?
Denise shoots you a side eye. What's she doing here? Like, why is she up in our face?
Like, I don't know. I thought it was about you.
Erin approaches your window and raps on it with her knuckle.
My window. Yeah, I roll it down. Turn the music down in a very big display of turning the music down. Lower my sunglasses. Can I help you?
Yeah, we talked about this. Tonight's my party. Why is it going around that you're having a party at your folks? What's going on? I've told everyone my parents are out of town for a conference, and you're sniping my party?
I didn't think you were actually gonna go through with it. The last 2 times it got broken up even before it started.
Look, I've already got the booze. I actually hired a DJ. Like, I'm going all out for this one. Don't fuck this up for me.
Oh, okay. I look at Denise. I'm like, we can tell people to our party's off, I guess.
She kind of crosses her arm and goes, I don't think so. Don't give Pink what she wants. It's kind of our anniversary party.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron, I'm a fool for love and clearly I gotta give my lady what she wants, and she wants a party for our anniversary. You know, this is our first kiss this night.
That's when Aaron quietly kind of hisses to you. Do you want me to tell her who else you kissed that night before her?
So, maybe we'll see if we can do some kind of a joint party. We gotta have a conversation, right? And we'll talk at lunch.
Aaron kind of smiles, arms uncrossed, and say, "We're gonna get this figured out. It's gonna be at my place.
See,
Let everyone know." And kind of turns on her heel and starts off. That's when Denise goes, "But we were gonna do it. We were gonna have the party at your place, and then like have a special weekend, you and me."
Yeah. So, yeah, about that. I gotta call my mom's coming back to town tonight.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you lying to me?
No.
Are you lying to her?
Am I? I don't know. Yeah, sure. I'm
Okay.
lying.
You're trying to get this past Denise, someone who you've had an on-again, off-again relationship with for a few years.
Uh-huh.
I'd say you can try this lie
Uh-huh.
to get past her, but we're gonna have to make a roll to see
Yeah,
if
of
you can
course.
do it.
Yeah.
And if you fail, you may be upset. I think this would be maybe heart, charm.
Okay. Her funeral, because she's gonna die from all this sweetness. I needed to roll a what again?
At least
A
one
six.
six.
1 6.
Oh, I did not. So I'm not going to push myself. I'll
Okay.
take the upset condition, and she'll be mad at me,
Yeah.
and I'll have to work on repairing this relationship I just invented.
Before you even stopped the car to park, like you had kind of started pulling forward, she's jumping out and slams the door really hard and just flips you the bird as she walks away and says,
You forgot your McDonald's. I mean, I'm saying this under my breath as she's storming
Yeah.
off. I'm not like, hey. I watch her storm off,
yeah.
and I take a drink from
Yeah.
my flask.
Ollie, how are you getting to school?
This is one of the days that my mom was working, so I'm skateboarding there.
Okay. Do you skate, do you have a route that you skate, like a back route?
I think I take the shortest route, but what I was going to say, if I'm allowed, is like before school, I think he stops off. There's like a hardware store, like just off school property.
Okay.
And like a lot of his friends tend to loiter in the parking lot.
Okay.
And sometimes he smokes pot there, and like they all smoke cigarettes. And like half the time, his best friend / crush, Mindy, is there. She's not there all the time because other than smoking cloves, she's like pretty straight edge, and it's like the one thing that they kind of like have friction on, the fact that he smokes so much pot. She's there about half the time because she's kind of in that crowd.
Okay. So you're skating up to this parking lot.
Yeah.
And there's the normal country. In fact, you see Mindy there exhaling on one of her clothes and starts kind of laughing at someone. She's in conversation. You notice them next. You just see the back of a figure, kind of tall, broad-shouldered, muscular, long black hair.
Mm-hmm.
You see them gesturing kind of animatingly as this conversation, you're getting closer to them. And that's when Mindy notices you and kind of waves to you, and the other figure turns, and it's Jeremy Starr. Jeremy Starr has gone like
The bully?
metal kid goth in the ensuing
He
years.
has an eye patch, and one of his hands has been replaced with a prosthetic.
He's got, like sort of a Danzig clone, white face
Cool.
makeup, muscle tee, gives you a nod.
He's a muscle goth.
Yeah, muscle goth, metal kid. He kind of nods to you and says, "Barker, didn't know you hang out at the Smoke and Go."
Yeah, I'm here pretty much every day. What are you doing here?
Mindy here said this is like a good hang spot. We went to a show the other night.
Oh, you did, Mindy? Like, what did you
Yeah,
see?
Mindy's like, "Oh, it was Susie. It was so good. I would have called you, but it was kind of last minute, and Jeremy only had 2 tickets, so
Yeah, okay, all right. So it's just you guys then, or
well, yeah, I don't know, it was fine, and yeah, it was a really good show.
great?
Hey.
You got last period off again today?
Well, it's a half day,
Oh yeah.
but I think there's like a school play or assembly or something.
Hmm.
Do
Okay.
you guys want to? Jeremy's like, well, hey, why don't you? I mean, my group, there's plenty of seats if you want to sit with me, Mindy. It's fine. Like me and my crew,
Muscle goths.
muscle goths,
All of them.
Shit. Oh man.
An entire
Pack of
sub-
Somebody
muscle
call the
goths.
cops.
Yeah, Mandy. Where do you want to sit?
Ooh.
She's already like getting. She reads the situation now. Like it's starting to catch. Like, oh, what's going? Guys, stop. Like, I'll sit wherever I want to. Nobody's playing. I'm no prize for you guys to win, right? Hey,
Yeah, all right.
like, well, look, we're going to a movie later, right?
Yeah. They have that Powell Pressburger thing down at the Arrow. So I guess I'll see you then.
Yeah, Jeremy goes, huh, that sounds pretty cool. Can I come along, Barker?
Yeah, just out of curiosity, could you name a Powell Pressburger movie?
Yeah.
He starts to get flustered and is like, you've kind of called him out and nerd shamed a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I just wanted, that's why I wanted to check it out. And Mindy kind of gets in your face and is like, dude, why are you nerd shaming this guy? Like, he wants to come check out this movie with us. Like, yeah, he may not know it. Let's introduce him to the world of it.
All right, it was kind of our thing, but that sounds fine.
Our thing? You mean, do you want this to be just you and me?
No, it's you're right, it's fine.
Okay. Shit, I think we have time for like one more cigarette before we got to get back or get over to school.
All right, cool.
And then you just smoke cigarettes
Mm-hmm.
and stare at your feet
Yeah.
and go to school. Do you all go to school as one big cadre?
Half of them like stick around like past the first bell just to kind of like say fuck you to the high school, but yeah, when the bell comes, like Mindy and I at least go over across
All right.
the street.
Rush.
Rush.
How do you get to school?
I'm driving my truck.
Wow.
My truck has like busted tail lights, and I don't take care of it. I don't do oil changes. I don't take care of this car. So it's like makes weird sounds and it's like has rust spots on it and just like beat up. And so people maybe have.
You turn it off and it rattles for like
Yeah,
Yeah, and
exactly.
like a
what
minute.
route do you take to school?
I always drive along the shore so that I can get a view of what's going on out there. So even if it's out of my way, I drive along sort of the highway that's along the shore so I can see what's going on out in the swamps and the wastelands. I have Rage Against the Machines, Killing in the Name of on my radio.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. I'm like rocking out as I am driving to school, probably like driving too fast and just like in my own head, making sure that like this huge small suitcase size laptop that I carry around with me is secured.
I think it's a little bit of time because of your like sort of revelry and lost in your own thoughts.
Yeah.
And surveying the thing and the drone of the road before you notice the lights in the rear view. The siren clicks on.
And I'm like, fuck, when will they stop bothering me? I like contemplate like, that one time when I drove a truck like as a kid, or like we followed a truck and like we ran away from the cops, and I'm like sort of like thinking I wish I could do that again as I sort of pull over
Yeah.
on the highway.
You pull over, there's the waiting a little bit too long thing where they're calling in your plates, and finally up sauntering comes what's the cop's name who is your bane? What's it?
Lisa Starkson.
Okay, Lisa Starkson comes up. Officer Starkson, she comes up, she's got a Stady uniform on. She has the badge of a federal regulator as well, meaning that she's been deputized into watching this border so she's kind of has quite a bit on her plate. But she makes time for you.
Yeah.
She comes up, spits.
Good morning,
This is,
Officer Starkson.
Mackenzie, it seems like you haven't gotten the taillights fixed on this thing, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah. No, not yet. I'm hoping to do it soon. Just trying to get to school. A little late, it's assembly day. It's very important for us to be there.
Yeah, this thing,
Everything okay?
I don't think this thing's road safe, Mackenzie. It's been,
What?
this is the third time I've pulled you over in as many weeks, and
This thing was fine just 5 years ago. It hasn't even been that long.
this is what I'm going to say to you right now. You can get out and start walking and pick this clunker up at the impound lot, or tell me why I shouldn't just haul it and you in right now.
Officer Starkson, I mean, come on, my dad's sick, and I'm just trying to get to school so I can get out of this town and get out of your hair.
Bringing up your dad's kind of a sore spot since they used to
Yeah,
date.
they used to date.
And so she kind of has it, she has a little bit of it out for you. That good for nothing, you're going to end up just like him if you don't.
Don't you
get your
talk
head
about
on
him that
straight.
way. You don't know what happened to him. They poisoned him at that place. That plant poisoned him.
You know what? Get out of the car.
Officer, come on. I got to get to school. You don't want... come on.
All right. Do you want to try Charmer?
Yeah, I'm trying.
All right. Okay.
I'm going to be all like, I need to graduate. I'm already on the edge. They're going to kick me out of school.
I think so. The result here will be if you fail to charm her, like what you would accomplish is she would just let you go with a ticket or whatever.
Mhm.
And if you fail, she'll take your car and you will have to walk to school and be exhausted.
Nope. No
Okay.
successes. Damn it.
She has you step out of the car. You do grab your case just in time.
I do. I mean, it's
very heavy.
I've sort of set it up so it like almost looks like a briefcase. So it's like I'm pass it off as what I like have my schoolwork and my books in and stuff like that. So it almost doesn't. It maybe it's too new that she doesn't even know that's a computer or
Right.
something. I don't know.
So you lugging this thing off to school as she stands by your car calling in a tow truck. And
I'm like collecting my shit, and like I've like eye screws in each side, and then put like a leather strap around it so I can like sling it over my shoulder as well and sort of have it on my back, almost like a messenger's bag.
so off you go. You guys are getting into school, and there's a big poster of this kid, John Wolfe. Kind of, actually, he would go to the parties and stuff. He was like a sporty guy. He was the guy who wore like the blazer and the t-shirt and the jeans, like a Zach. He was cool.
Oh, wow.
He was just kind of like, he was a lacrosse player as well, like well-liked, little-known kind of kid. Like, he didn't come to the parties. He was just always kind of a smiling face.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now this smiling face is on a poster in the school, and you don't know if it's like, it doesn't read as like whether it's memorial or more like, basically you're walking around, you all sort of, as you're converging into the school, getting the impression that this kid has gone missing.
Oh, okay.
Right? And the school is doing a sort of awareness of a missing kid moment with John Wolfe. That, yeah, basically you're all kind of funneled into school, you go through homeroom, nothing really major is going on. And the moment when you're all three find yourself actually kind of together for the first time in a while, kismet or whatever, is you're funneling into the assembly hall for a school play.
Cool.
So it's one of the events for this half day after you kind of get your homeroom like run down, some news of the school, a little like,
yeah.
they gave everyone like a little pamphlet about like being a runaway, problems at school. There were counselors that had started coming into everyone's rooms. It seems like this half day that was supposed to be like teachers versus students basketball like event has turned into a thing about missing kids and being a runaway.
Okay.
So it's sort of like taken on a weird twist.
Oh,
So
yeah.
and some like you hadn't been going to school for a while, so you're just like, this is half day, this will be fun. And so what had you guys thought, you hadn't really thought much about it, what had been like a blow off day is now turned into this series of lessons, and now you're being funneled into this assembly to see this play, and you are all three kind of, just as the crowd works together as you work your way into the assembly room.
Wait, is this a lesson teaching play?
Potentially, you don't know yet.
Okay, because like normally a school play would not be during school hours,
Unless it's a half day, could be.
but they would have it at night so like families could come see it.
Good thing you guys are going in to see the play, so you might learn what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. And you're like, how are they doing a play? And I didn't know I could audition for it.
You three are working your way kind of with the crowd towards
yeah.
seats, and it's just sort of a sit as you are situation. You're probably gonna all end up sitting together.
I am a large iceberg in this sort of sea of students. I'm quite large. I very congenially and in a brotherly fashion sort of slip my arm around Ollie's shoulders as I see him, and I say, breaker, 110, good buddy. Here's old Spuds.
All right. See any Smokies?
Hopefully I was going to get some of those Smokies from you after school, good buddy.
All right. Well, thanks for that. I don't know why the hell they're having us do this.
Yeah, this is bullshit, man.
Like, just give us the day off. If
I
it's gonna
thought
be
so.
A bunch
I mean,
of crazy
I didn't
shit
want to
like
watch
this.
the teachers play the basketball team anyways. I thought just, oh, hey,
And
look who it is.
I'm like hovering around telling people, I'm like telling Dougie that the party's not at my place. It's at Scaren's house.
Yeah, you're like getting everyone on the way in.
And I'm like still standing when everyone else is seated, and one of the teachers is like, Mr. Dawson, sit down. I'm like, I look around. I'm like, oh, sure
There's
thing.
a cup there, seats
And
next to these
That's
two
the
jokers.
and you can see that like I noticed the only seat immediately available is by these guys, and there's like maybe my face falls, maybe you are imagining that. Who knows? And but then the smiles back up, and I sit down with you guys.
Yeah.
Hey guys, how are you?
Oh, hey, Chad.
Hey, nice of you to invite us to this party that you're.
Wait, you're having a
Yeah,
party?
I'm not even having a party anymore.
Sounded kind of like you were talking about a party.
I mean, there is. It's. I mean, you didn't. It's Aaron Pink's throwing it.
Oh, to hell with her.
Yeah. Oh, you know.
Wait, why are you shilling for someone else's party? That doesn't sound like you.
It was gonna be at my. Denise wanted to throw a party, and I think she's going through her troubles.
Oh,
And,
Denise.
Northern Ireland, or
And and like I don't know. So the party's at Aaron's now.
all right.
Huh.
I'm sure it's cool if you guys show up.
Yeah, I don't want to hang out with Aaron.
I mean, it's a party. You're not going to be hanging out with Aaron.
Yeah, well, I guess we probably weren't invited to the first one because Denise was so keen on it. I know how she feels about us.
Oh, I mean, I don't know if I'd blame him. I mean, she just doesn't know you guys.
Yeah.
Like, she's been to the Thunder Cave. I told her all about it.
You took her to the Thunder Cave, man? I got special stuff there. You can't just be taking anybody
I
there.
also got special stuff there.
All right.
Oh man, right? Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
right,
I know
all
what you're talking about.
I mean, that's cool and everything. You and Denise, huh? Like
Yeah.
all the way?
What do you think? Yeah, dude. Oh man, I didn't know I was gonna get the third degree over here.
I am not interested in your sex life. It's cool.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
So you get shushed, and a spotlight goes on, and Erin Pink goes up to the stage. Kind of tall. She's kind of lanky, like skinny girl. She's got a pixie cut. She wears
Speak of the devil.
sweaters and plaid skirts. So like comfortable but flattering, fashionable. And she says, "So it's been cleared up. Just come talk to me if you... Chad's thing is sorted." And she gets like pushed off the stage by the vice principal, who's like, "You are this. Why?"
And I like turn to the crowd, like shrug my shoulders.
Yeah, there's some like papers that are thrown at you or something like that.
And you see her. You actually all kind of notice like for different reasons where she goes to sit. She sits down in this area next to Mindy, next to Jeremy, next to Kimberly Lakes, and also Beverly Fullerton.
Wow.
Kind of this very weighted group
Of people we know.
who are all disparate. Maybe Mindy and Jeremy might be the two like similar people, but it's like, why? Like Kimberly had been sort of the popular girl for a while, and has also gone a little maybe lone wolf. She does like the flannels, tank tops, like Sarah Connors kind of deal.
Yeah.
And Jeremy's gone full goth metal dude, and Aaron is just popular and cool. Beverly actually has gained some popularity status, has gone a little like mean girl too. Like she's still like whip smart, high, like probably the top grades in the school, that kind of thing.
Glasses came back in style, right? She's
Yeah.
the glasses one.
She's
Yeah,
she's
the
like
glasses one.
yeah.
Lisa Loeb or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
But
The
she
cat
got like
glasses.
before glasses, she got She's All Thatted, and then like re-glassed to like She's All That again with glasses this time. So it's like she's on trend now.
And I'm like, I told you guys she's the hottest.
Yeah, so that kind of group is there, and it really it's a little weird. Yeah, that's when
It's a weird parallel to the fact that we're all sitting together.
Yeah.
And people that are important to us in our lives at some point are all sitting
yeah.
together as well.
And again, it's the day seems off right now. So then the vice principal gets up and says, listen, we know this was going to be a sort of a fun cap off the semester kind of fun day, and we do a half day and have the teachers, whatever. But there's some very important stuff. You've already heard this from your teachers and all this, but you know that recently Mr. John Wolfe has gone missing, and we assume that he's run away based on a letter that his parents found. And we need you to know that if you have any issues, you need to come to us. And we hope that this play can help you understand that there are people here for you, whether it's friends or the faculty, who can be a support group for you so that you don't find yourself in a similar situation. And if any of you hear from Mr. Wolfe, please let him know his parents and the authorities are trying to find him, and we do hope that he's okay.
Did she react when every time she said John Wolfe or Mr. Wolfe, and the lacrosse team let out like a little howl? Did she react? Yeah.
Like a sad howl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's reflex, and we're also dumb assholes. So, but yeah.
Yeah. The lights go down, curtain parts, and Lizzie Mitchell, comes out doing like her arms in a circular motion next to her body, wearing like a kind of a stovepipe hat, and with like smoke effects coming out. And behind her, the rest of the drama department is coming out. And
I yell, "Why is Abraham Lincoln on fire?"
I start cracking
the
up.
people start laughing in the audience. She like shoots a glance out of anger. Like you start to hear the refrains of Runaway Train playing, the new hit from the radio, and they start into this interpretive dance, dressed like train cars and a locomotive, and little like Andrew Felsen is dressed as the caboose. And he's sort of like the one who's the loner, who everyone is like trying to support to not run away, I guess, is what you're reading from this.
I mutter to the guys, I'm like, what the fuck is this supposed to be teaching us?
I don't know. They're really stretching.
I think they don't want us to run away.
This makes me want to run away.
So it seems like the climax is nearing. They're about to all sort of hold him up in the air, little Fulson. And that's when the sirens start.
Ooh. Oh,
The-
shit.
The rift alert is up.
Oh, okay.
That one of the
Mega Beasts.
a mega beast or mega beasts are coming.
Fucking clankers.
And
Or wait,
they
the clankers are the good guys.
Depends on what side you're on.
they drop Fullerton, and on stage they're panicking. People in the audience a little begin to panic, and that's when
His arm breaks.
everyone starts clicking into mode, and they start shuffling people towards shelter.
Uh-huh.
What do you guys do?
I mean, are we being pushed along by the crowd, or?
A little bit. I mean, you'd be guided and directed. But
Yeah,
you
I
can-
mean, like I'm like looking around and shouting for Denise.
Told you they should have let us stay home.
yeah. Looking around, you notice that at least one other person is not like you see Jeremy Starr
Uh-huh.
heading away, like towards the exit away from
Where he can
Where you-
team up with his Mega Beast buddies.
maybe.
Okay, so he's like sneaking out from
He's
the
sneaking
crowd
out,
and not going in the direction he
and-
should be going.
Right.
Was he the bully again? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
He was the old
That's him.
bully, the metal goth
Okay.
kid.
The
But
guy
he's going
who
out the
wears
he's go,
a lot
he's
of
going out
sleeveless
the other
shirts
way.
The
and
one who's
like,
trying to pick up your girlfriend, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But whereas everyone else that you can see is like he's the one that you notice going out the door. The opposite everyone else.
Mhm.
Because he's got a shocking white face and it's just built.
He's just
I don't care. He can walk into the sun for all I care. Yeah, I'm just looking for my girlfriend, but like I'll stay close enough to the if we're all in a crowd, I'll stay close to these guys.
Okay.
yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna like.
What's Beverly Fullerton doing?
You can't see Beverly Fullerton.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. If I can't see her, I'm like, now's our chance. We can get up on the roof and we can see one of these things. I can get some footage.
What?
Yeah. I've only been able to see a few clips from the net. They're out there, but no one's seen one clearly.
Why do you want to see one?
Gotta see what it is, man. You gotta get that information out there to everyone else so they know.
Like, why? What good's it gonna do?
But blow the lid off the whole thing so everybody knows what's going on.
Ollie, what are you doing in this exchange?
I'm looking around. I saw Jeremy leave, and so I'm looking around to see if I can see Mindy because I have this paranoia that they're going off together. And so I think I'm like, I'll go with you, Rush, because like I have this sort of half-baked idea that from the roof I could see whether they snuck off together.
Okay. Your old cadre or old buddies are working their way out. They're going to start fighting.
Yeah. I look around. Is my girlfriend around?
You see her kind of like she's closer to where the teachers are funneling people to the exit that would lead like quickly to down into the basement to the shelters. There's like fallout shelters that now are repurposed into storm shelters / attack shelters. They've been reinforced. They're safe. She waves to you as she's kind of pushed with the crowd out the door.
I mean, I would go after my girlfriend as opposed to go onto the roof while monster attacks. Unless there's something actively pushing me. Like,
I think I would give you a parting jab, basically,
okay,
and sort of be like, I guess the fire really went out of you, huh?
So you're
Something like
trying to.
that.
Why don't you lead? Try to lead.
I
right?
guess that's what I'm trying
Okay.
to do.
You're trying to
That's
push.
what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to push.
You might be upset if you fail this, and you have a -1. By the
I
way.
do.
I think I'm too distracted by my own
Okay.
concerns to really care whether he comes or not.
All right. Nope. No sixes.
I'm like backing away from you guys with my arms up. I'm like, hey, have fun. Make sure Ollie gets a home movie of it. Maybe you
Okay.
can. Maybe the theater will play it.
Okay. So you should mark upset as well.
I am so upset and exhausted.
So we're splitting the party a little bit.
Okay.
You head down into the shelters in the
Uh-huh.
basement. You guys head up to the roof. You guys you get it on video, and I'll describe it
Nice.
out, and you're going to show Chad it
Yeah.
later.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So watching your amateur like handheld video, thankfully you're safe. You see this thing, massive, kind of amoeba-like with chitinous crystalline dark armor emerge from this rift, and then another, and then another. 3 of these things, tall as buildings, coming out from the swamps.
I'm like going nuts. I'm like grabbing Ollie by the shoulder and shaking him.
You guys are ducked
But-
down,
You're shaking the fucking camera, man.
and you see 4 bots jump down. A red one, a blue one, a pink one, and black. They just begin this coordinated battle
Mhm.
against the beasts and are
Yeah, I'm-
tearing them limb from limb.
Mega beasts.
Mega
Mega
beasts.
beasts.
I'm like whooping and hollering. We're gonna make $1 million. This is this footage. Like I'm going nuts.
Things look to be going in the 5 bots' favor. The clankers are kicking butt. They get 2 of the beasts down, just mashed to pulp. They're just
Bust those beasts.
In fact, the pink bot pulls the black bot off of one that they're just punching the face in over and over that clearly has been down. But there's still one going, and the Red Ranger has been struggling against it kind of on their own. That's when a rift opens and another beast lands on the Red Ranger.
No.
The pink bot
Mhm.
turns and tries to fight this thing, and it is standing stomping on the red bot, and the pink bot is trying to struggle with it. The other two again also are trying to help, but the final thing that you guys see is that the beast rips the head off of the pink robot thing and throws it towards the town, like towards your housing development area. Your camera tracks it and it lands bouncing in some homes and like rolls to rest at the base of the mountain where Thunder Cave is, South Mountain.
Well, that's probably not good.
And that
shit.
mech collapses and falls to the side. The other mechs pull the red one out, and it's not moving at all. And they pull it away from this thing. They finally defeat both the beasts, and they drag the remains of the red one that's limp away and fold themselves away with some sort of shimmering energy, and they're gone. The bots are gone. This scene is decimation. The swamps are just churning. The beasts dissolve and sort of bubble away.
Mhm.
And this bot of the headless pink bot sort of sinks halfway in and settles, and that's when your footage cuts out.
Low battery.
Did we notice Jeremy at all in any of this?
No, you guys were 100% on
Yeah.
this kaiju monster robot battle. Where are you guys watching this thing? And
I feel like someone's basement. I don't know whether I have a basement because it might be like such a small home, but
I have a very lavish entertainment system in my
Yeah.
basement.
And maybe that's it, is that we want to show this footage on a big screen and like listen to it.
yeah.
And that's it. And we're like, we call up Chad and are like, oh man.
Yeah, we're in
You're
my
in a
we
basement.
have to show this to you.
soundproofed
We have
basement.
to show this to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like discarded like takeout wrappers, and I'm drinking a beer. I took a couple sips of my beer and then left it there for most of the video because of like I made a couple jokes early on and then just shut up and watched.
Ollie, this is awesome footage. Like, we got to get this uploaded. And I like, my laptop is open. I'm like, there's no Wi-Fi, so I'm like trying
You
to
have
figure out how I
plug
can
into it.
do it. Like, you have AOL, right?
That's gonna take forever to upload a file this size. I'm being true to the period. Like,
That's true. That's true.
can't we just get it to like the news or something? Like, what are we
Or
doing here?
we could pass out videotapes at the party.
What?
Take a long time to dub those tapes. I could dub a few in that time, I guess.
Or show this at the party. People will
Yeah,
go insane
we
for
could. We
this.
could show it at the party.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. No. I'm sure we could. Yeah.
And we could even like tell everyone about what happened. We were there. Like, you could even charge maybe.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, there is a giant robot head crushing homes right now. It's not like people don't believe
even know.
something's going on.
Is the party still happening?
Party, as far as you know, is still on.
Okay.
So something else just to pause too. You guys this could be an opportunity to get the gang back together. Your friction is your failure in the previous thing. Some of you have conditions. If you can heal your friction, you might be able to heal some of your conditions as well. You guys stuck your faces into another situation in the past.
Uh-huh.
And the friction is like it didn't go well, and you don't know if you are capable of doing it. And so should you be messing with this stuff? Is it for the greater good? Will this help anybody?
Good.
And so like should you continue to do that stuff, or can you affect change? No one, like, adults aren't going to be helpful in the situation. You are the youth fighting against entropy. So the pain of your past, you already have a massive failure, as maybe as you see it, that is this rift, this friction. But is there a way to overcome that and say, hey, do we get a second chance?
The stakes seem so different. I mean, like, are you guys affected at all? This is out. I'm not saying this is outside of character. Are you guys affected at all by like the missing kid?
So that's so funny. I totally had forgotten about that. I mean, yeah, there's like this confluence of things that are happening. John Wolfe is missing.
Yep.
The drill happens.
Jeremy Starr ducked out the door.
Jeremy Starr ducks out. I'm like, in this current context, I'm like, okay, maybe showing the video wouldn't tell people anything they don't already know, but maybe we can go find this head and take people down there. That'd be something cool for you to do with your girlfriend for your anniversary.
I mean, it would make it certainly more memorable. Yeah. Let's see. I'll check out this head. That's a place to party.
Yeah, we can go check it out. I mean, maybe they have it blocked off. Even we might have to sneak in. Who knows?
I mean, I
100%
don't know if
is
I want
blocked
to
off.
sneak in. I mean, I'm looking at Ollie. I'm like, do you want to sneak into a fucking blocked off robot head?
Like, I think that I have this. Like,
I mean, he's crazy,
yeah.
right?
I have like this other like half-baked idea. I think that like I have to do something that's gonna set me apart in this world of this high school. Like I've been like cut off from everyone and like increasingly cut off, and I feel like this Mindy thing is like a catalyst for being like I need to make something of myself to make me seem impressive. So I'm kind of into the idea of going down there.
So to where the head is,
Yeah.
in South Mountain.
This is for real?
Yeah, I mean, you know,
You should check it out. It's near the Thunder Cave.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't want you guys getting hurt. We can go to the party after. Let's check it out.
Okay,
All right.
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the gang's back together.
mm-hmm.
There's still like tension, but I'd say you guys can at least heal your conditions for this
Okay.
go. I mean, you're showing the tape like same day. There's a half day, so it's like
Yeah.
out like
This
mere
is
hours
afternoon.
Right. The fight was over pretty quick. After like they let the alarm go through.
Is
Now-
the town on lockdown?
No, I mean again, it's routine. Everyone is like, they do safety checks. Everything is pretty clear. How are you guys going to the South Mountain?
I was gonna
Jeep.
drive.
You get in the Jeep.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
my
you guys,
car. I don't have a car anymore. It got impounded.
Yep. So you guys drive to South Mountain,
Yeah.
and it's pretty clear that they're like a row of like 4 or 5 homes that this head bounced through, crushing the homes. And so there are emergency teams, and going in directly, like driving up to this head, is not going to happen.
Yeah.
But again, it's you guys know that mountain.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a spot that I park at close by.
Mm-hmm.
Stop there. That's where I park regularly.
And there are trails and paths that you guys can follow to get to the head if you want to do that
Okay.
directly. you
Yeah,
guys
so
head
I
there.
park where I always park, which is, a short walk. And we're, walking through the trails. Trails that seemed so wide and expansive years ago, but now seem a little cramped now that we're a little bigger.
I know it looks like it hit the Bellflowers house, but they're normally not at home during the day.
Jason Bellflower's
Yeah,
house?
yeah,
I didn't like that guy.
yeah. I mean, yeah, me neither. But
The vantage you have now, like you're a little bit above where the head is. So you're looking down at this robot head that's massive. It's like the size of a house or more.
Uh-huh.
And you're above it, and there are swarms of emergency vehicles and officers kind of further down. There's the occasional helicopter that buzzes by, but otherwise things are pretty quiet actually around the head itself right now.
You getting all this? You getting all this?
Yeah,
Ollie?
I got it. I mean, there's no way we're getting any closer to that thing.
No, wait, we can get closer, and I'll take footage of you with the head.
What? Oh, why?
Because then you can tell everybody, man, and that
All
you're
right,
there.
yeah, sure. Yeah, but how do you think we're gonna get down there?
We can go by that cliff. See, it's sort of like we just have to climb down the cliff.
Climb down the cliff? Chad.
I mean, yeah, you just climb down the cliff, Ollie.
You look really like in good condition, like all the skateboarding you've been doing.
Or you can hang on to my back and I'll climb down.
So you guys are gonna climb down this cliff?
How stiff is this? Steep is this?
It's stiff. It's pretty steep. You helping each other. It's still gonna take at least one roll,
Yeah.
and with potential injury.
Yeah. We'll all end up
wait.
broken as we shatter ourselves on the ground.
Do you have anything in the back of your car that could help?
You have a lacrosse net,
Mm-hmm.
Lacrosse stick.
and and the stick. Sure, like if you use that, you can throw like an extra die or two.
Oh, okay.
At it, because you would kind of use it to brace yourselves and.
Yeah,
Clamber
okay.
down.
I guess that makes sense. I have a lacrosse stick and stuff. Some equipment that we can use.
Put some helmets on for the most dangerous of you.
Mm-hmm. That'll save us from the condition of shattered head.
Shattered head. Yeah.
So you guys are trying to
I'm
climb
like,
down?
what do you think? What are you thinking, Daredevil?
Yeah, we've done 5 crazy things today already, so why not go for a 6th?
All right. So I'd say you're the one who may be the least physically adept.
I'm
so
very physically adept.
I'm gonna have you make the roll.
Okay.
You're like for you. Well, yeah, because you're gonna be helped doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be body, and I'm gonna say move. Yeah.
Alright, great. Well, I was a very outdoorsy
So you got
kid.
3. Then who you're getting help as well.
Help from her lacrosse
And then
stick.
you have some sticks.
And because we're helping, are we all subject to the condition if we fail?
I'm gonna
which is
say
injured,
I'm gonna say
guessing?
you're the one helping most because you have this little cross stick and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's the one die. So you all successfully clamber down
Okay.
to the base of this thing. You now kind of stand with the dome of this head curving up above you.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Can I walk up and like slap it?
Yeah, you slap it. It hurts your hand. It's big. It's heavy. It's metal. And it's very, very pink.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get your flask out. Pretend like you're feeding it some liquor, like it's drunk.
That's hilarious. Let's do that.
I'm just taking footage of this shit.
Guys, the cops are gonna come. Let's just figure out what we're doing here and
Oh,
go.
let me get you in frame. I need to back
all
up.
right.
So does anyone want to like get a look at this?
Well, that's the I was gonna say, like, guys, we got to see whether anyone pilots these things, because, you know, in like movies, they're always sitting in the head of robots. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
It seems like they could sit in the body just as easily.
It might
but,
be even more protected in the body, one might
yeah,
think.
but it always seems like they sit in the head.
So if anyone wants to like investigate this thing, that would be right. Like
I am kind of keeping a lookout because I don't understand this bullshit.
okay.
I'm not as interested in the actual head as I am making sure these guys don't get hurt.
Yeah, I feel like it's either one of us. It's one of us, either me because I had the idea, or
Yeah, you go for
Or
it. You're
rush,
you're
'cause-
investigating. So what do you like? You're looking for something. You're trying to figure out what's going on, right?
yeah. I'm most interested in seeing whether it's like hollow, whether there's like a command center inside,
Okay.
or whether it's just like a solid robot head.
Sure. So yeah, we'll do an investigate roll. So it's going to be mind plus whatever skill, and you're helping. So how are you helping? You guys are both clambering over a lot.
Yeah, and I'm getting out the pieces of titanium that I collected from the TSI ship,
Sure.
and sort of trying to like match it against this thing to see if they're at all similar.
Nothing.
Okay.
Terrible roll. A lot of ones.
You're pretty stymied by this thing. Like it's difficult to figure out what's going on. And Chad, that's when you notice like whether the helicopter has like buzzed back one more time, but it seems like there are some black glassed, black suited dudes approaching, and at the forefront of them some guys in like full on hazmat suits
Cool.
coming up the ridge like beyond this head.
I take a sniper position. I go, guys, we've got company.
I think it's at this point too that clambering, like kind of sliding down the hill, comes Kimberly Lakes.
Oh shit!
She's got her flannel tied around her waist, and she's got her like white tank top on. She's like, "The hell are you goons doing here?"
What the hell are you doing here, the Lakes?
Hey, Lil Lakes, how you doing?
Fuck off, Dawson. Idiots. What are you doing? What are you doing to the head? Why are you fucking with this 5-bot?
Curiosity?
Smile, you're on camera.
Get that out of my face, asshole. What are you doing?
We have bigger problems, Lil Lakes. There's some fucking dudes coming up the hill.
Shit. God damn it. All right, I need your help. I need to get into this thing.
Okay.
Maybe you should explain why you're here before we help you?
There's no fucking time. Come on. And she starts heading around to like the ear part, something that you guys hadn't really been like checking out, this like large antenna thing. It's bent and the other one's busted off on the other side.
Look back at both my buddies and sort of give a shrug.
How much room's in there?
Room? What are you talking about? No. Come on. I don't know how fucked up this thing is. I'm going to need some muscle.
Oh, I thought you were climbing in it. Fine.
Like Mega Man?
Yeah. Let's do it.
So you kind of follow around to this ear thing,
Uh-huh.
and it's all bent up and messed up.
I'm
and-
explaining that I thought it was hollow and we were going to hide inside it. I'm not that big of an idiot. Come on.
No. I'm like Mega Maid? Is that what you're talking about?
A lot like...
Is that what we're talking about? Yeah.
So she starts rapping on this ear thing, and she goes, "Fuck, it's jammed. All right, look, guys, I'm going to need you to help me here. And which of you wants to step up and try to pull on this thing? Chad?
I'm the biggest.
Okay.
What kind of... Is it like a door?
Yeah, it's like she kind of bangs on this other thing, and a little like panel pops up, but it's pretty bent up. So basically she's like, you grab here and I'll grab here, and we just got to pull on 3. And so she's going to work with you on this to pull this thing off. If you guys fail, then you're going to injure yourselves.
Sure. And it's what kind of a roll? It's
Body, let's say move. Okay. You pull this thing open, and thankfully, like, it seems like it's also would have, like, it's so broken it would have just fallen and clattered down the hill. But you both brace yourselves and catch it just in time before it falls, and are able to kind of ease it to the ground so it doesn't make noise and draw any attention. So that's what your bonuses give you.
Oh, great.
Kimberly, there's a passage, kind of tunnel, like a crawl space that goes in, and she just goes right into this thing.
I shrug and look at you guys.
I mean, it's better than getting caught by those dudes.
Okay.
Well, moments later, she peeks her head back out
Okay.
and goes, give me a hand here, guys," and begins pulling out the limp body of Beverly Fullerton
What?
with blood streaming down into her eyes and unconscious as far as you know.
Told you they're always in the head.
I'm Beverly. As this is my crush from back in the day. I'm super into this gal. I move forward to help for sure.
I have like a genuine moment of shock and concern because, like, it's real again. The last time we did this, somebody didn't make it home. I'm like just kind of standing there, like, shocked and dumb.
Kimberly's like, "Listen, you goofballs, I need your help getting her out of here before those guys can get to her.
Okay, but you'll have a lot of explaining to do.
I don't owe you guys shit."
And we don't owe you shit.
Did she come here? She got here before us?
And she can't. She like skid down after.
Yeah,
No, I'm talking
yeah.
about
Other
Beverly
kid, yeah.
Fullerton.
Yeah, other.
Oh.
I don't think she got here before us. I think she was already in there.
What?
We don't have time to explain, guys. Come on. And she starts like trying to pull Beverly back up that hill that you guys came from.
I'm like, okay, guys, let's go. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
You're helping.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is going to be a team effort to get this done quickly and efficiently. You guys will each get to roll kind of saying how you help in this situation. Yeah, so you guys will need, it's tough. This is going to be complicated and fast and sneaking away from these guys, but it will take a total of 9 successes amongst you to get this done. Because they're very close. This body's very limp, and you were able to climb down without much difficulty, but getting back up is a whole other thing.
Like I'm carrying. I'm an athlete, so I'm going to help carry Beverly Fullerton.
Okay.
Little Lakes has been like killing it in fucking volleyball, but
yeah, body, move, and the lake's help.
Yeah.
Same deal again. As many successes as you can get.
Just one.
You can push yourself to re-roll.
I don't want.
All but your 6s.
Yeah. I'll push myself. I'll be exhausted.
Okay.
So like I'm,
Exerting
myself, and it doesn't matter.
Okay. So Ollie, how are you helping get this done? Quietly and safely.
This might be silly, but I've got a good score in sneak. And so I'm kind of thinking that also means that I'm good at like sort of choosing a good path for us.
So let's say this. Your effort got you up the incline and everyone up together, right?
Okay.
That's what this success is, at least for now.
Yeah.
So now you guys are trying to get away unseen as well while doing this. Okay. Nothing. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to try and use my technical knowledge to create a distraction. Whether that is like shorting out the electronics here to like make lights go off, or having some sort of, if it is already dark, having some sort of like spark.
There are a bunch of wires and stuff hanging out of this thing, especially once the ear port was pulled
I'm
open.
going to try and mess with those to create a distraction.
So try a tech thing to like make a mess.
Set off the car alarm.
Yeah, I'm going to set off the ear alarm. I'm going to set off the inner ear alarm.
A tinker.
Tinker? Okay.
And Lil Lakes yells to you like, "No, not the red one. You'll kill yourself." So
not one success, but I will push myself to re-roll them all.
Scared?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Oh.
One success at least.
Okay.
So I'm scared.
Okay. So
As I'm like dealing with this tech I've never seen before.
yeah. So what happens is you're able to spark this thing to life a little bit. Its eyes start to glow. Its jaw opens, which unsettles some dirt and creates like a small slide that upsets these people, and they back off, buying you guys a little time. It may not be enough.
Definitely not.
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah. So you guys needed 9 total, and you have 2. But you can mark enough conditions to get yourselves over this
There's any
hump.
way we can.
We can all try, right?
You guys could mark till you were scarred if you wanted, and broken if you wanted to. You need to you want at least half. So you need 5 total to get a compromise. If you each mark 1, then you will at least reach a compromise.
Okay.
I'm exhausted. And scared.
I'll be scared.
I'm scared as well.
Okay. So it's all instinct
Uh-huh.
at a certain point. These guys are getting their footing back together. You scramble back up the hill almost preternaturally. You're trying to drag her away. You're trying to stay together as a group, as a unit. You're stumbling, you're fumbling, you're rushing through the woods. It's starting to get dark. At a certain point, though, Lakes breaks off from you with Beverly's body.
What?
And you lose her. Now you stand exhausted, scared,
Yeah, I'm too
alone
exhausted
in the
to-
woods.
I swapped out scared. I think one of the reasons she was able to break off is because I slipped and fell and twisted my ankle really badly, so I'm injured.
Okay. So everyone is in pretty rough shape right now.
Yeah.
As you stand in the woods alone, fled from these guys, but the person that you were helping and this mysterious Kimberly Lakes who showed up at the same time has left you.
Mm-hmm.
We interrupt our story here, and we'll continue in our next communique. I was your GM for Things from the Flood, John Holt. You can find me on Twitter at Lord Joho and on Instagram at board_ghost. Ken, where can people find you?
Board Ghosts, find me, Ken Breeze, on Twitter, Instagram, and my own website, Berling's Beard, Berlings Beard. I am a for-hire dungeon master in the New York City area, tabletop role-playing game content creator, and all-around cool guy.
All right.
Not that I need to remind you of that.
Dan, where can people find you?
I mean, if they want to find me personally, I'm at Dan K. McCoy on Twitter. That can only be read as Dank McCoy. You should listen to Stuart and my podcast, The Flophouse, at flophousepodcast.com. And if you're already a fan of said podcast, why not come out and see one of our live shows? We got a bunch coming up. They're on the events page of that website.
Yeah, and I'm Stuart Wellington. In addition to being a gadabout podcaster, I also am the owner of a few bars in Brooklyn, including Hinterlands Bar in Kensington, Brooklyn, and the newly opened Minis Bar in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. Check them out.
All right. Thanks again, both y'all, for being on.
Thanks for having us.
Be
Always
tortured
great to have
by-
you guys on. Thank you so much.
Torture you all as one.
Mainly torture, Dan.
All right. So to find out we'll put links to the Flophouse shows. We'll put links to everyone's contact information on the website at boardghost.com. Shout out through the ether if desires we can fulfill at BoardGhostWorld on Twitter. If you'd like to patronize us, we have a handful of patrons who get early access to episodes, episode art, and exclusive how to play videos at patreon.com/boardghost. And that's a good one.
And it's a great way to sort of let us know what games you think we should be playing. We love to always get feedback from people.
Yeah, definitely. So this game, Today Things from the Flood, was recently wrapped up its Kickstarter and should be available in May for retail play. So check it out there from Modifius and Free League Games. We'd like to thank Pat Couples for our theme song and interlude music. You can find more about Pat at patcouples.tumblr.com or on his band's website, hotelsandhighways.com. If you're not alone in the void, share our stories. The more they are consumed, the truer they become.
Dying don't agree with me.